to steal from the Empire? You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Tony, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Such
Have you
a pleasure
seen
to
4
talk.
episodes?
I've seen all 4.
Very good.
So I'm officially hooked. Thank you for that.
Good. Oh, well, good. There you go.
Just to start off, in the years since Rogue One arrived, I think the collective opinion now is that since, I guess, episode 7 arrived, everyone's collective opinion is Rogue One is the one that everyone seems to love the most now. It seems to be the one with the biggest fan base behind it. Is that something you've noticed as well from the other side of it?
I don't track it that carefully. I do sort of watch the Star Wars community. There's so many factions and so many different groups within it. I mean, I've seen that. My son tells me that. Yeah. I know there's a lot of love for it. No.
Yeah, I think it's because it's very clearly within the world of Star Wars, but it does feel its own thing. It feels very, very different. And it's the same in this as well, in that it almost immediately you do get the sense of it being like an intergalactic spy movie, which is something that we haven't really had too much before. We're aside from, I guess, the obvious Star Wars influences, were there any particular cinematic or televisual influences for you for this?
You know, my answer to this question, I'm doing the same thing I've been doing since I started, when I was trying to do it and then learning how to do it and then hopefully doing it. I mean, I'm trying to write, I want you to turn the page. I'm desperate for you to be excited and see what happens next, but I'm just as eager and I'm just as craven about making an emotional connection, and I really want to have behavior and I want to have characters that, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever they are, I want you to believe that they're real. And I want you to have some sort of emotional connection to them. So I just brought my shit here. I didn't really change anything. I didn't change my game, no.
Well, right from the start, pretty much, like right from the opening credits, the one thing that impacted me, well, 2 things. One was the fantastic sound design within the episodes. Even like the guy with the hammer being the human bell, and then there's
Time Grappler.
And there's the episode later on where it's like human alarm system is going off in the town, and it's all been orchestrated into the sound design, which is then part of the score. And you've got Nicholas working on the music, and the music is tremendous, which isn't surprising because Succession has one of the best theme songs of all time. But what was your conversations? What was the big kind of,
man, you're making me so happy. There's a couple things that I care about very deeply. I care about tempo, and tempo of scenes and tempo of cutting and tempo of music, but I also really care about sound. And Nick and I started 2 years ago. There's a very, very important piece of diegetic music that will be live at the very end. And it's a big, huge 8-minute piece of music. And we had to do that first. And that's how we started. And we didn't know each other, and we had mutual respect, and we just fell in love right at the beginning. And we built this really crazy thing, and I don't really want to talk about it because it's a spoiler for what it is, but we built this monstrous thing, and then we're like, okay. And we sort of didn't see each other for 8-10 months and came back and dropped the show and said, okay, well, now we need 7 hours of music. And it's been a major hump for both of us, but I've never had a better, it's been the whole post-production with Nick and our sound department, and my brother John Gilroy's on it, and Dave Accord and Margit Pfeiffer, the people on sound and Skywalker Sound, it's something we take wildly seriously.
it's tremendous. I absolutely loved it. And this is a bit of a swerve, but I'm not sure when else I'll get the opportunity to ask this. We're coming up on the 25-year anniversary of The Devil's Advocate. It's like, I think it's a month or 2 away from The Devil's Advocate 25-year anniversary.
Okay.
What's your outstanding memory, I guess, of working on that? Because it's such a culty kind of classic at this point.
There are so many great stories, and I've dined out on a half a dozen stories from that movie, and working with Al and the rest of it. I would say, what's the dizziest? It's such a dizzy movie. I would say that the one that I can tell and not get in trouble with when we went to shoot the ending, that was in his apartment, that 18, 20-minute thing, we shot the whole movie in New York. We went to LA and we on a soundstage, weird soundstage out of town. And I was there, I was writing all the time. It kept getting longer and weirder and longer. And at one point, when Al starts singing, it happened in Monterey. And we like goofballed and Taylor said, oh, let's do that. And we were like, can we do that in a Warner Brothers $80 million? Can we do that? The fact that we did that and the fact that that scene exists, I mean, and all the rest of the crazy scenes in that movie, but I think that's one of the dizziest scenes in a sort of expensive movie I've ever seen. And we were there watching it happen. There's some great stories that I just cannot tell but it was a super vivid, fantastic experience. I got Michael Clayton out of it from touring all the law firms. That was a very important thing for me there. I saw Charlize. We were just in Rome 2 days ago, my wife and I, and Charlize is shooting Old Guard there. I hadn't seen Charlize in a whole bunch of, and some of the people who were actually on Devil's Advocate were there. I really like having it in my on my resume. It's a good flavor to have on there.
Oh, it's such I can't even get the words
dizzy.
out.
It's so silly.
It has such a special place in my heart. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.